So welcome back, everyone. We're live on Facebook, so I do want to say hi to everybody out there. Like us and follow us. We'll share the show later on. My next guest has been on with me now several times. I have with me Dr. Jerry BERG. He's the owner of Mobile Chiropractic of Arizona. And oh my God, Mobile Chiropractor. This is awesome. We just heard your ad. I want you to tell everybody a little bit about yourself and why you decided to make your practice mobile. Which, by the way, thank you.
Yeah, I'm service oriented, so I looked at reasons why people had roadblocks for getting care, because you talk to lots of people, oh, I want to be cared for, I want to get taken care of, I want to do it, but it doesn't happen. So my thought was, I'll bring me to them, and it's worked out really well.
Yeah, well, what's great is, first of all, you don't have to take the time out of your busy day, not meaning that the person out there that's listening, and because, you know, well, I want to say this, when anybody comes and gets a treatment from you, one of the things that you have said every time you've been on is that when you leave, there isn't one person who doesn't feel the difference, and better.
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, you want to feel better, and when you do feel better, now you want it more, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And so you can do this in your home or your office or wherever you are, and you are valley-wide, right?
Yep.
Now,
I
go
just
ahead.
bring my table and unfold it. It doesn't take a lot of room. We treat you on the spot.
Now, you do all sorts of treatments for people, right? Any kind of whatever they're dealing with. You are a little different, so I would like to tell them what makes you so different.
I treat all kinds of things, just not musculoskeletal. Emotional things really play into how your body hurts. You can have traumas that get stuck in your energy field, really, is what it comes down to, and it lives out as pain in your body. And so if we deal with both of those things energetically and physically, then you have better results.
And can I just tell him?
Yes.
He has magic hands. You do.
Yes.
And tell him what it is.
I have energy in my hands, and when I put my hands on people, they feel different. Just touching them makes a difference. It's interesting. And it's kind of all intuitive. I train myself to work. I can touch a pain place, touch an energy point like an acupuncture point, and the pain reduces or goes away immediately.
And so this is hands-on. It's like hands-on Reiki chiropractic at the same time.
Correct.
Right?
Yep.
Now, we're going to do this anyway, so we're going to open up the lines to the audience for everyone to get entered in to win its visit. It's a $300 value, free to you or anyone that you know, and it's a 1-hour visit that includes a treatment.
Correct.
So our number here is 602-277-5369, and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. Doc is valley-wide, and let me just say this. I think, first of all, you shouldn't just go to a chiropractor when something happens, which is when most of the time people call you, right?
Yep. I was just with a patient this morning, actually, and she said, like, how often should I do this? Because it seems stupid to wait until I'm hurting and I can't function the way I want to. You know, we just do a rhythm. And I says, everybody's rhythm's a little different. If you're highly stressed, you're going to need it more often. If you're not so stressed, once a month, once every other month even sometimes works for people.
Everybody's different. But I've been talking a lot about this week. Maintenance.
Yes.
Maintenance. You got to maintain, and our bodies, I mean, gosh, just for what's going on in the world with everything that's so crazy out there.
With all the stresses.
Just driving, even a half a block sometimes can be very stressful, right?
Yeah, with all the stress out there, everybody needs it more often than not, because that stress plays out in your body.
So we've got our lines open here for everyone to get entered in to win a visit. It's a 1-hour visit that includes a treatment, and our number here is 602-277-5369, and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. Doc has been doing this for 29 years, and I want everybody to do this. Put the number, his phone number, in your phone. Maybe it's you or someone that you know. It's 480-298-6148. You can check him out on his website, which is mobilechirodoc.com. I say put it in your phone, because yes, we already know people are procrastinators, you know, and you do things when you're ready, and you also do things when something happens first. But so put it on into your phone under reputable mobile ChiroDoc.
That's right.
Okay. Now I want to also kind of go into something, because you're intuitive.
Right.
And I think this is what makes you different too. Not just that you have those matches. And by the way, I gotta tell them, okay? Because, and you should have brought it, maybe you have it here, so that they could see it on Facebook. That would be really cool. That you had a picture in here that you were doing something, and you could see the energy of your hands, that it came right out. I mean, and I know we all have a little energy, but you got a lot.
Yes. Well, I make bread, and so when you start out with bread, you take water and you put yeast in it. When I put my hands around the glass cup that was warming up, whatever, for get the yeast going, it all came to the surface. It was clear before, it came to the surface, and then made a shape of like an 8, and then it had like ley lines, pieces coming off like magnetic lines. It was
really
awesome. Yeah, it was really
telling. That's
yeah.
the right way to say that.
Yeah.
It really
Gave
was.
a real
We're gonna
visual.
I'm gonna try and get that on Facebook for everybody to see it. It's pretty amazing. Check him out on his website. It's mobilechirodoc.com. And again, put this number in your phone, because you never know when you're gonna need it, but you really should be maintaining your bodies, everybody. 480-298-6148. And we've got our lines open here for everyone to get entered in to win a 1-hour visit. It includes a treatment, 602-277-5369, and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. You know, you might want to tell them why, and we're going to go to the energy because it's so different,
Right.
why energy flow is so important.
Well, the Chinese believe that where your energy flow gets blocked up, kind of like a log jam, that's where you have trouble. And part of my energy thing that I've done intuitively is I can touch where that energy is blocked up. It's electrons, really. It's electricity. You're an electric being. And I move it to a pathway that's moving. If your body's energy is moving, because you use energy at different rates in different parts of your body, it all has to be balanced out all the time. So it's always moving. If it's not moving, it's a problem.
Now, the last time that you were on, you were kind of discussing how you don't always, if somebody doesn't like to be cracked,
Right.
you don't always do that. I want you to tell them that, because a lot of people, when they hear chiropractor, they go, oh, it's gonna hurt, it's gonna be weird.
Yeah, and it's not banging your bones together, which is what some people are worried about, and people are really concerned about their neck. So it's like you've been holding your neck up forever. Why would you let somebody like me touch it and do something? So I totally get that, and if it makes you nervous, this is a partnership. If it makes sense to you, then we can do it. If it doesn't make sense, we don't do it. And my energy stuff is really powerful, so it can make all the difference without even adjusting.
He says that there isn't anyone when he is done who doesn't say they feel the difference, and the difference is good.
Yes.
It's awesome. So again, he's valley-wide. He's been doing this for 29 years. You can check him out on his website, which is mobilechirodoc.com. His phone number is 480-298-6148. Call in here, whether it's for you or someone that you know, and you're going to love it that you did it. So everyone's getting entered into win. It's a 1-hour visit. It includes a treatment. On our number here is 602-277-5369, and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. Whether you're dealing with pain from, it could be a sciatic,
Yes.
it could be migraines, you've talked
Headaches.
about that,
Yeah.
and anything that you're dealing with. We all know chiropractic's been around for a very long time,
Yeah.
right? But what makes him different too is his magic hands, because what is great about them is that they've got energy in them, and they make people feel good even before he leaves. Again, our number here is 602-277-5369. Doc, I'm going to answer this really quick. Hi, Ebony. I'm on the air in about 2 minutes. Can I call you back? Do I use this number? Okay, that, I answered it because I didn't want you to just leave a message. I wanted you to hear. I'm just on the air in just a couple of minutes and then I'll get back to you. Thank you so much. I'll return my show.
Yes.
Okay.
One thing that I thought of when we were talking,
Yes.
I've been doing this for 29 years. One of the things that makes me good at what I do is I can diagnose really well. So
When you say you can diagnose really well, what do you mean by that?
I know what's wrong with you quicker than most people.
Really? Because of your intuitive?
Intuitive and experience.
Okay.
I've been doing it for a long time, so.
So the things that you can diagnose are what?
Well, I can say, oh, this is, my shoulder hurts. Well, somebody said their shoulder hurts. Well, it's here. It wasn't his shoulder. It was here. It's from his neck. Shoulders can be from
Oh,
the
that's
neck.
important.
Hand pain can be from the neck. Carpal tunnels can be from the neck.
Okay.
That kind of, there's,
Yeah.
and I just don't trial and error. I know where to go and do it. So that's why people feel a difference right away, because I can go after it.
Yeah. Do you find that people, how do I say this? That, let's say that they let it go too long,
Yeah, always.
always.
I mean, kind of. So, typical person, you have an ache or pain, you don't do anything, it goes away. Have an ache or pain, maybe you take an aspirin, it goes away. Have an ache or pain, it goes away. Why would you think this time it's not gonna go away? And we only measure by what we feel, kind of, instead of like our function, how good you can turn, and do whatever. So people expect it to go away, so they wait, and then it's like,
Yeah, go ahead.
it's been a couple of weeks, you know, it's like, oh, I should have called, but.
But there's a lot of people that live with pain
Oh,
because
I get
they
that.
don't.
People that need hips done. I had a Canadian this year and 18 months to get a hip replacement. So she saw me and it made all the difference in between to tolerate getting to that point when she had a hip replacement.
So welcome back, everyone. If anyone is in pain, call in here. You're getting entered in to win. It's a 1-hour visit from the mobile chiropractic. He comes to you of Arizona. He comes to you where you at your office or in your home. He's valley-wide. He's been doing this for 29 years, and we've got our lines open here for everyone to get entered in to win a visit. It's a 1-hour visit and includes a treatment. Our number here is 602-277-5369, and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. You can check him out on his website. It's mobilechirodoc.com. At the break, you threw something at me and you go, you know what, Carol, what makes me really good and really different? You said you can diagnose really well.
Yeah, we don't do trial and error. Lots of times you can go to the doctor and say, well, let's try this. You come back a month later, really didn't do it. Well, let's try this. When I see somebody, I've done this so long and have experienced about everything that 9 times out of 10, 100 out of 100 basically, I can tell you this is what's wrong, this is what we need to do, and this is how long it'll take.
So we were talking a little bit about some of the different things that people, let's say if they have carpal tunnel, they think it's coming, the pain is coming from their hand, and they think that's because they've been on the computer too long. But you said that it's actually coming probably from the neck.
Yeah, almost all carpal tunnels has some component of cervical dysfunction. So if you have interference in the communication from your neck to your hand, then it's going to affect how that works, and then you can have dysfunction, and that causes irritation to the nerve in the carpal tunnel.
So wherever you're having pain, it's not coming from there, it's coming from somewhere else usually.
Yeah, a lot of times.
And
yep.
Doc can diagnose it, he can see that, where it's coming from, and you can feel it.
Yes.
Too, and that's the thing, his energy, his hands are incredible, and it's like having Reiki, but it's hands-on Reiki.
Yeah.
Again, he does not crack if you don't want him to, that's another thing that he's very, I think cognizant about what people's feelings are with this. He also says every single person that he works on, there isn't not one of them that doesn't say that they don't feel a difference when he leaves, and they say the difference is good.
It's positive.
So you can call here and get entered in to win. It's a visit, it's 1 hour long, and our number here is 602-277-5369, and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. He comes to you. This includes that treatment. So the other thing that I wanted to ask you, a couple different things. Let's say somebody has gotten hurt, and most people do this. They live through it, and they've had it for years. Does it matter how long?
It does, but it doesn't matter that, it doesn't keep you from being able to be better.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've had people for 30, 40 years, stuff going on, and in a few visits, it's immensely different.
Wouldn't you like to be able to feel better?
Yeah.
What's the thought of feeling better without being in pain, without having to take an Advil, right, or something to ease that pain?
So many people have tried so many things, and their hopes get up and then they get dashed, and they get hopes get up and then they get dashed. So I get it. That's, people say, I can't be helped, but I've helped all kinds of people in that situation.
Something else that you brought up, it's very interesting that you did, hip replacement. That you said that you had a gal who was having a hip replacement, but that you made her feel better along the way till she had the replacement.
Absolutely. When a joint is dysfunctional, whether it's so bad that you need a hip replacement, the muscles get really tight, they get sore, the physiology doesn't work correctly, and that can make a big difference. I had a lady that was on a waiting list for about 18 months to get a hip replacement. She was miserable, she could hardly walk, and after I treated her, she was able to walk. And it would be temporary, it's not fixing the hip, but it fixes the function.
Mm-hmm.
So it's much better for that person to live with.
Wow, and there's so many people, that are having these hip replacements. You could have a bad shoulder,
Yep.
right? But there isn't anywhere on the body that you can't fix.
Pretty much.
Pretty much. I mean, I don't know, I should say that. But what he does say that is certainly every single person that he treats, there isn't anyone that doesn't say that they don't feel a difference, and the difference is always good. Again, if you're just tuning in, what makes him different is he is intuitive, and he can feel the energy, where it's coming from, and what else?
I had a lady that had breast cancer, actually, that was in remission, then it came back, and she had had an MRI without me knowing, because it had moved into her spine. And when I was working on her, I said, okay, this is your problem. He says, that's exactly where the cancer showed up on the MRI.
Wow.
So I could feel that. I feel what people feel. I can usually tell you the character of the pain, the character of the tightness, whatever, with a person. And it lets me kind of get to a point, but it doesn't cause your body to react in a negative way. And that's part of the reason that you have such a positive response when I work on you.
What's even a better positive, because of course feeling better is great, is that you come to them.
Yes.
And it's in the privacy of your own home.
It's convenience.
Right?
It's like a concierge type service.
It is, it's really concierge.
Yeah.
And when you go, do people come, obviously they do this on a regular basis with you, there's a lot of people that do, because they all know that maintenance doesn't just mean your air conditioner, and your plumbing, it really means your body too.
Absolutely.
Right.
I mean, you change oil in your car, whether you need it or not, you don't see it, the car's still working, but you change the oil, you change the antifreeze, you change the transmission. It's the same thing, you use your body, and it's gonna have wear and tear, and the more you take care of it, the better it's gonna work, and the longer it'll work.
Tell them what you mean that you can feel what your patients are feeling.
So I can take and push on a place that you find that's tender or sore, and I can describe that this is a really hurt spot, it really is sore, And then this other spot is more like muscular tension, tightness. It's a little bit uncomfortable, but it's not like hurting.
Mhm.
There, that's kind of the big difference, I guess.
So when you're not, let's say somebody said, I just don't want you to crack, okay?
Yeah.
What do you do?
So I use a osteopathic technique that resets the tension in your muscles. So I'll position you in a gentle way, hold it, and I'll allow your body to recognize that we don't have to be in crisis mode, we can be relaxed.
Wow, I love that. You know, and anybody that's listening, if you don't feel relaxed just listening to him say that, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it just feels really good to know that there is help out there. I think a lot of people have just come to the conclusion that there's no help
Yes.
for them, and they deal with pain and they live with pain, and you don't really have to,
No.
right? And,
Right.
go ahead.
So many people are living in their sympathetic nervous system, not their parasympathetic, or in a balance. When you have pain, you're gonna move to that sympathetic. The sympathetic is when you see a lion in the forest and he's gonna come and eat you, you run and you get away. So your muscles go crazy, and that's the way you are. When you're in parasympathetic, it's like sleep, restorative, healing. That's what I do with people. I move them from sympathetic towards that parasympathetic. And most people feel like, well, I think I should go get a nap after this because I feel so relaxed.
Isn't that
so
nice?
it's just that move from what society pushes us into, this emotional, sympathetic portion instead of natural, digestive, restorative healing.
So we've got our lines open here for everyone to get entered into WIN. It's a 1-hour visit, includes a treatment, and our number here is 602-277-5369, and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. You want to be that person that also says, I feel a difference, doc, and it feels better. You know, what are some of the difference, like the most different type of ailment that you were able to treat?
I had a lady that had leg pain that really would increase with walking, but she didn't have any back pain. She didn't have any incident. It had been going on for 40 to 50 years. And it was one of those where I was a little bit baffled. I'm not sure what's gonna happen here. It was like, I'm thinking clear her nervous system, so that's what I worked on. And in about 5 visits, she had no pain, and she hasn't, that's been probably 5 or 6 years now. And she had it every time she was active for 50 years.
Now, when you come into somebody and you have, you know, whatever, you're going into their home or whatever, and you set it up, do you do an intake with them beforehand? Do you know, do some kind of?
I have a form that you fill out, you have to do it, we talk about it, we do a history, find out what's going on with you, how often this has happened, is this a recurrent thing, which it quite often is, or did you fall or a motor vehicle accident? Whatever it is, we do all of that evaluating, then I do a physical exam, and then we move to treatment. We talk about it, I said, oh, this is what I think is going on, and we get agreement that that's the thing you want to do.
And you will feel a difference even before he leaves, and the difference is good.
Yes,
Yes.
totally.
And what makes him different too is that I call them magic hands, but they do have energy. He is an intuitive, so he helps with what you call intuitive pain reduction. That's what you do. Yeah. And I don't know if there's anybody else as a chiropractor.
Most people stay either in the energy realm or in the physical, like chiropractic or PT kind of realm. I don't know of anybody that blends those two together.
But you do.
Yeah, it makes a difference.
And not only that, he's also made it very convenient for everybody, because one thing we know about going to the chiropractor, if you gotta go a couple times a month or once a month even, anybody doesn't wanna be put out anymore anyway. So now he comes to you. He's valley-wide, he's been doing it for 29 years. Call in here and get entered in to win a visit. It's 1 hour, it includes a treatment, 602-277-5369. It's mobilechiro.com.